A girl named Wynn is going through psychological trauma after a car accident that killed her lover Liam. The situation is aggravated by the fact that Wynn was driving the car, and now she cannot get rid of the feeling of guilt. To distract herself, Wynn agrees to look after someone else's country house, where strange things begin to happen to her. Her phone receives video calls that show her things that are not really there, but seem to be coming soon. Studying the credits of Cellphone, one can't help but notice that almost all the key behind the camera positions are occupied by people with the same last name Sommer. Luke Sommer acted as director and cameraman, Rachel Sommer was screenwriter, producer, assistant director, as well as stand-in for Wynn. Jan Sommer was producer, production designer and car stunts performer, and Matthew Sommer just a producer. If you break down who all these people are to each other, some things become clearer, because Luke and Rachel are brother and sister, and the producers of the movie were their parents, who believed that their children were ready for full feature after 10 years of working on short films. As often the case now in the horror genre, Cellphone grew out of a short film of the same name, that Rachel Sommer wrote and Luke Sommer directed back in 2012. The full-length film, though, borrows from it only the basic idea of a phone that studies you to then terrorize you with your own fears. It's a curious idea that could have been developed into something catchy, but the movie as a whole unfortunately fails. And in this case, it's clear why. It's no secret that the most important thing in a movie is the script. Yes, a good script can be destroyed by mediocre acting and mediocre directing, but even the most brilliant director and Oscar winners in the main roles will not be able to create a masterpiece on the basis of a weak script. Cellphone is a modest independent film made virtually by a family, and it's obvious that Rachel Sommer either didn't have the opportunity or didn't want to treat her script to an experienced writer, because the first problem with the project lies there. The script of Cellphone is not talentless, but it is littered, vague, inarticulate. Apparently, this is how Sommer sees the horror slow burners, popular in the recent years, but in her script there is no building of suspense, no development of the dramatic tension, no exploration of the main character's psychological trauma. It is just a set of scenes around the theme, which a seasoned veteran of screenwriting could have dismantled, sharpened, and reassembled in the most effective way. But this did not happen, so the movie does not scare and does not plunge into the depths of the broken psyche. There are questions about Luke Sommer's direction as well. For example, the phone suspense moments don't work very well, largely because for some reason he chooses to show us not the phone screen but the face of the heroine looking at it. Not the most outstanding acting is shown by Whitney Pynn. The only one who is definitely good is Justin Malik Jackson as Chris, Wynn's new neighbor, a good-natured chatterbox, who seems to think in all directions at once, so he speaks as floridly as possible. This is a very bright and likable character, who not only helps the film, but actually saves it. Every appearance of Jackson turns into a one-actor theater, and if it weren't for him, it would be difficult to watch this tedious, confusing and pretentious pseudo-horror till the end.